he's doing all the right things.
Jet sweep to start the drive. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The pass there complete to Sutton, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. To throw is Brissett. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Let's go, baby.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Jameis now on first down. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for second and 23.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. Get in the right way. Get in the right way. Switch.
To throw is Winston. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Winston. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room.
Let's go. Do it.
And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run right side with Hunt. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. We're scoreless after one. Here's Hunt. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
We're set from the gun on 3rd. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
You better be afraid of me. You better be. Come on. Sunday. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Throwing on 2nd down. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Third and long for Winston. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Double dog. That's the way. You go tight. You got tight.
And an alley to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Brissett. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Enough takes to start to have a good...
They're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Brissett. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And based on my math, They've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Bailey's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball.
Yeah, that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slade. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Nicole Hardman, the intended target. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your over here. And they're the recipient of a nice gift here late in the half with a real chance to put in. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Brissett. Caught by Allen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Ready. Focus against the money. Got you, boy. I got you, boy. Hey, switch gears.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light play. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. A first down throw for Winston. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike. Hey, 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 hey. 56 to Mike. Easy. All day. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Going again. Winston on 2nd and 10. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. To the air again with Winston. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. On first down, Grant. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line. 55. Reed, check it out, Reed. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Push him back. 56. Mike, let him go.
On 2nd and a couple. Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malcolm Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Going deep here for Allen, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Brissett gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Cortland Sutton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
On 1st down, Grant able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And now they're in the hurry up.
56, Mike, 56. Wait. 56 to Mike.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror.